He sat there in silence, eyes fixed on the ground, while the world exploded around him. I remember a time when I was in a heated argument with a close friend. My words were sharp. His words were louder. But suddenly, he stopped speaking. He just sat there, breathing, listening, not to me, but to something deeper. That silence broke me. It wasn't the silence of defeat. It was the silence of strength. In that moment, I realized, sometimes the loudest truths come without sound. Listening, real listening, is not about what you hear. It's about what you understand when you stop trying to be understood. What listening deeply means. Most people hear, very few truly listen. There's a reason why we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, because listening is twice as important as speaking. Hearing is passive, listening is active. It's when you quiet your ego, your assumptions, your urge to respond, and open up space for someone else's truth to exist. Real listening is a form of presence. You're not just absorbing their words, you're receiving their soul. When someone says, "I don't feel heard," what they really mean is, "I don't feel seen. I don't feel safe." True listening is a mirror. You help others reflect on themselves by holding silence, not judgment. Segment 2, Wisdom of Silence, Real and Spiritual Stories. There's a story about a young monk who went to his master and said, "Master, I want to learn wisdom. Please teach me." The master smiled, handed him a bowl of water, and said, "Go sit beside the river, and don't speak until the water speaks to you." The boy sat. Days passed. No voices, no visions, only silence. But slowly, the boy started to hear, not with his ears, but with his awareness. The rustle of leaves, the rhythm of his breath, the quiet voice within that whispered, "You already know. You were just too loud to hear it." Silence is not empty. It's full of answers we miss in noise. In silence, people have written books, changed careers, left toxic relationships, healed decades of pain, because they finally heard what their inner wisdom was screaming all along. Segment 3, Practical Exercises to Become a Better Listener. The 3-second rule. When someone finishes speaking, wait 3 full seconds before you reply. Those 3 seconds create space for truth, clarity, and humility. Silent mornings. Spend the first 15 minutes of your day in complete silence. No phone, no distractions. Just sit. Listen to your thoughts. Feel your breath. Your mind is speaking to you. You've just been ignoring it. Mirror listening. Repeat back what someone just said. Not to correct, but to confirm. This builds empathy and shows that you're truly present. Nature listening. Sit by a window. Close your eyes. Listen to everything happening. Birds, wind, cars, clocks. This sharpens your awareness beyond words. Segment 4, Real-world applications in leadership. The best leaders speak last. They listen fully because they value truth over ego. One moment of genuine listening can save a company from collapse. In relationships, most arguments happen because we're listening to reply, not to understand. Real intimacy is built not through grand gestures, but through silent attention. In personal growth, want to change your life? Then stop talking to everyone and start listening to yourself. Your intuition is not gone. It's just buried under constant noise. The 3 pillars of listening. Let's simplify everything into 3 core principles. Presence. Be here, fully. Leave your distractions at the door. Patience. Let silence linger. Let discomfort breathe. Purpose. Listen not just to respond, but to understand, to grow, to connect. Try this for the next 24 hours. Listen more than you speak. When you want to interrupt, don't. When you want to reply, pause. And when you're alone, listen to your silence. Because deep within it lies every answer you've been looking for. There's a powerful African proverb that says, listen with your ears, but hear with your heart. I once sat with a man who had just lost everything: his business, his marriage, his confidence. He didn't need advice. He didn't need motivation. He just needed to be heard. But I didn't get that at first. I kept offering solutions, throwing him lifelines he wasn't asking for, until finally he looked at me and said, "Can you just be quiet and let me feel this?" That moment broke me open, because I realized sometimes the most powerful thing you can offer someone is your silence. Not all pain needs a plan. Some wounds just need space. Pillar 1, presence. Be here now. We're addicted to distraction. You're listening to someone, but your phone buzzes. Your mind drifts to tomorrow. Your eyes flicker to the screen. And in that split second, the person in front of you feels invisible. Presence means you're not just in the same room. You're in the same moment. When you're present, people feel it. They open up. They soften. Because in your stillness, they feel seen. How to practice presence? Put the phone down. Make eye contact. Listen with your body. Face them. Lean in. Breathe with them. Presence is rare in a noisy world. That's why it's so powerful. Pillar 2, patience. Let silence breathe. You know that awkward pause when someone finishes speaking? The one that feels uncomfortable, so you rush to fill it? That's where the truth often lives. Silence is not empty. It's where emotions echo and clarity forms. When you interrupt silence, you interrupt healing. Impatience comes from ego. I need to say something now. But patience, that comes from love. Here's a truth few understand. People often say the most honest thing 5 seconds after they stop talking. Let them get there. Don't steal that moment with your words. Wait. Breathe. Stay. Pillar 3, purpose. Listen to understand, not to win. Most people don't listen, they reload. They hear just enough to prepare their comeback. That's not listening. That's ego in disguise. Purposeful listening means this: you're not here to be right. You're here to understand their reality. It's not about solving them. It's about being a safe space for them to solve themselves. Here's how to shift your listening purpose. Ask, what are they really trying to say? Reflect, what do they feel beneath those words? Remind yourself, this is not about me, it's about them. Purposeful listening builds trust, connection, transformation. It's how leaders lead. It's how lovers love. It's how strangers become soulmates. Let's recap. Presence grounds you in the now. Patience creates sacred space. Purpose elevates listening into healing. You don't need to have the right words. You just need to be there, completely. So today, ask yourself, am I really listening, or am I just waiting to speak? Try this. For the next conversation you have, don't interrupt, don't fix, don't perform. Just be present. Be patient. Be purposeful. And watch how it changes the person in front of you and the person within you. There's a Zen saying, silence isn't empty. It's full of answers. I want to tell you about a woman named Mira. Every time life broke her, she went silent. When her father died, she didn't speak for 2 days. When her fiancé left her before the wedding, she didn't post a thing. No quotes, no rants, no "he did me wrong." She just walked, sat in parks, listened to the wind. And when she finally did speak, her words were clear, calm, deep, because she had already spoken to herself. In silence. Silence didn't break her, it built her. Silence is where the soul speaks. In the noise of the world, we often lose ourselves. Everyone wants to talk, to be right, to be seen. But very few are willing to go quiet long enough to be transformed. Think about it. Nature grows in silence. Wounds heal in silence. Wisdom emerges in silence. When you remove noise, you begin to hear the subtle truths. who you are, what hurts, what needs to change. That's why monks take vows of silence. That's why prophets retreat to the mountains. Not because words are bad, but because truth needs space to breathe. Segment 2. Spiritual Stories from Silence. 1. The Buddha's Silence. A man once asked the Buddha, "What happens after death? Is the soul eternal? Is the universe infinite?" The Buddha sat in silence. Minutes passed. Then the man said, "Why won't you answer?" And the Buddha replied, "Because your mind wants noise, but your soul is starving for silence. When you're ready to know, you won't need me to speak." That story has traveled centuries. Because the deepest truths aren't explained, they're experienced. The story of the Sufi and the candle. A student once asked a Sufi master, "How can I hear the voice of God?" The master lit a candle, placed it between them, and blew it out. In the darkness, the master whispered, "That sound you just heard? The breath that took out the flame? That's how quiet the divine voice is. You must become that still to hear it." Segment 3. What silence teaches that noise cannot. Here's what you discover in silence. You are not your thoughts. Sit in silence long enough, and you'll realize thoughts come and go, but you remain, a deeper presence behind them. Pain doesn't need to be solved, just seen. Most of the time, healing begins not when someone gives you advice, but when you sit in silence and say to yourself, "Yes, this hurts, and that's okay." Wisdom isn't always learned, it's remembered. You were born with a quiet knowing. Silence brings you back to it. Segment 4. Practice. Embrace silence today. Here are 3 simple ways to start listening through silence. Silent walks. Leave your phone. Walk alone. Listen to your surroundings. Let the world speak. Evening darkness meditation. Turn off the lights. Sit still. Focus on your breath. Ask no questions. Expect no answers. Just listen inward. The no reaction rule. When someone triggers you, pause. Don't react. Give yourself 5 seconds of internal silence. You'll be shocked how much wisdom comes in those moments. Silence is not withdrawal. It's not weakness. It's not avoidance. Silence is where transformation begins. When words fail, silence speaks. When pain overwhelms, silence holds you. When the world screams, silence heals. For the next 24 hours, resist the urge to speak first. Sit with your emotions. Observe your thoughts without needing to act. And just once, let silence answer. Most people don't listen to understand. They listen to reply. I learned this the hard way. One night, I asked my younger brother how he was doing. He said, "I'm fine." And like always, I moved on. Weeks later, he told me, "You always ask, but you never really stay long enough to listen." It wasn't that I didn't care. It's that I never learned how to truly listen. No one teaches us that in school. No one teaches us how to sit still with another person's truth. So today, let's fix that. Here are 4 simple but powerful listening exercises that will help you tune in to others, to the world, and most importantly, to yourself. Exercise 1. The 3-second rule. Pause. Breathe. Then respond. The next time someone finishes speaking, count. 1, 2, 3. Don't jump in. Don't nod mechanically. Don't half smile. Give the silence room to breathe. In those 3 seconds, you'll hear what they didn't say. You'll catch the hesitation in their tone. You'll feel the emotion underneath their words. And often, they'll keep talking, revealing something deeper. This rule also rewires your patience, teaching your nervous system to wait, absorb, and process before reacting. Exercise 2. The silent morning ritual. Start your day with silence. No phone, no music, no people. Just you. Sit in a chair. Close your eyes. Set a timer for 10 minutes. Now listen. Not for sound, but for your own thoughts. What's bubbling up today? What emotion is underneath your surface? What do you really want out of this day? Doing this daily will transform your clarity, focus, and emotional intelligence. It's like tuning your inner instrument before you face the noise of the world. Exercise 3. Mirror listening. This one is powerful in relationships. When someone finishes a sentence, simply say, "What I hear you saying is," and then reflect their words back. Not to correct them, not to analyze, just to confirm that you actually heard them. Example, they say, "I'm tired of always being the one who cares more." You reflect, "You're feeling alone in how much effort you're giving." You'll be amazed how healing it is to feel truly understood. This exercise also slows down conversations, reducing fights and building emotional safety. Exercise 4. Listening to nature. Sit by a window, go for a walk, or just lie down under the sky. Now listen to the leaves, the wind, the birds, the hum of the world around you. No talking, no labeling, no analyzing. Let the world speak to you. This practice sharpens your awareness. It trains you to listen without needing words. So when people speak, you'll also start to hear their energy, not just their sentences. Bonus practice. No interruption challenge. For one full day, don't interrupt anyone while they're talking. Not even to agree. Not even to finish their sentence. Just wait. Observe. Stay quiet. You'll realize how rare and sacred full attention truly is, and how powerful it makes people feel when they finally receive it. Listening is like a muscle. It doesn't grow just because you want it to. It grows because you train it every single day. The pause teaches patience. The silence builds clarity. The reflection builds empathy. And nature brings you back to presence. So if you want deeper relationships, if you want to be a better friend, leader, partner, parent, start by listening. And not just to others, but to yourself. For the next 24 hours, practice just one of these listening exercises. It can change your conversations. It can change your relationships. It can change you. Let me tell you about a CEO who saved his entire company by saying just 2 words, "I'm listening." His name was Andrew. His employees were burned out. Quiet quitting had begun. Morale was collapsing. He called a town hall meeting. People expected a speech, orders, strategy. But Andrew walked in, sat down, and said, "No slides today. Just your voices. I'm listening." And then he said nothing for 45 minutes. One by one, people opened up, not just about workload, but about fear, anxiety, disrespect. For the first time, they felt heard. For the first time, he truly led. By the end of that year, the company bounced back. Not because of innovation, not because of better marketing, but because one man remembered a lost art, listening. In leadership, speak less, understand more. The best leaders don't command with words, they command with presence. Abraham Lincoln would listen silently in his war room before giving orders. Nelson Mandela was known to speak last in every meeting, so others felt safe enough to speak honestly. True leadership isn't about the loudest voice. It's about the calmest ear. People don't need to be impressed. They need to be understood. When employees feel unheard, they disengage. But when they feel truly listened to, they rise. How to apply this? Begin meetings by asking, "What's on your mind?" After every pitch or idea, pause and ask, "Tell me more." Create quiet space where feedback isn't just allowed, it's valued. In relationships, connection begins in silence. Ask anyone who's been in a broken relationship. Most often, the issue wasn't love. It was not being heard. You never listen. You hear the words, but not the meaning. Deep listening is a love language. It says, I care enough to be fully here with you. In marriages, friendships, or family, listening creates emotional safety. How to apply this? When your partner vents, don't fix it. Ask, do you want advice or just someone to hear you? Don't multitask while someone's sharing their heart. Presence equals performance. In conflict, repeat what they said to show understanding before defending your side. Most relationships don't die from arguments. They die from emotional invisibility. Segment 3. In parenting, listen to what they don't say. Children are always communicating, even when they're silent, especially then. When a child throws a tantrum, we correct. But deep listening says, what are they feeling underneath this behavior? When a teen goes quiet, we assume rebellion. But deep listening asks, what hurt are they hiding that they don't know how to speak? How to apply this? Ask open-ended questions. What was the hardest part of your day? At bedtime, sit for 5 quiet minutes. No questions, no teaching. Just be there. They'll open up when they're ready. Replace "why did you do that?" with "help me understand what you were feeling." Listening makes kids feel safe enough to grow up without shutting down. Segment 4. In personal growth, listening to yourself. We often look for answers in books, gurus, quotes. But the deepest truths come when we ask ourselves, what is my heart trying to tell me? Are you forcing yourself into a job that no longer feeds you? Are you ignoring a toxic habit because it's louder than your inner voice? Or are you numbing your soul with noise because silence reveals too much? The signs are there. You just haven't stopped long enough to listen. How to apply this? Journal without editing. Let your truth come through. Spend 10 minutes each week in silence, asking, what part of me have I been ignoring? Listen to your fatigue, your frustration, your joy. All of it is data. Your inner voice is wise. It's just tired of being shouted over. Listening isn't soft, it's strong. Deep listening builds better leaders, stronger families, healthier minds, and a world less divided. It doesn't cost anything, but it gives you everything. So ask yourself today, who in my life needs to be heard right now? And when will I finally stop and listen to me? For the next conversation you have, don't rush to speak. Don't prepare your reply. Don't try to win. Just listen. Deeply, silently, fully. You might not just hear them. You might finally see them. And maybe you'll finally see yourself.